back. So we're back in the garage here, and I've got this Prius engine that I recently removed. I actually posted a video on this 2006 Toyota Prius. It was making a knocking noise, this engine, and I swapped it out with a Yaris engine. And the purpose of that video was to show what differences needed to be done, like what parts needed to be swapped over, because the Yaris engine does have differences to it. But it's similar enough that you can use the core of the engine and swap over most of the exterior components and make it work. And it's not that big of a job, you know, once you get the two engines out of the car. So anyway, I wanted to know what was caused. Hopefully I can, you know, people can learn from this, because what I want to look at now is what was causing the knocking noise, because I adjusted the valves, I checked the timing change, I changed the timing change tensioner, and that's a big deal on a Prius. Like, to take this cover off in the car, you have very little space, and I did that, and it was a pain in the ass, and in the end, the engine still knocks. So I'm suspecting something's going on with one of the crank bearings, or maybe one of the piston skirts cracked, or a piece of it fell down and it's banging. But it didn't seem like it was loud enough for it to be that. But could be a crank bearing though. But this is what I want to find out. So I'm gonna split this crank open, like the bottom of this case open right here. It's not like this engine, you actually have to take the bottom side of the engine off and to be able to get to it. And we'll see what's involved in doing that, and hopefully get an idea of what caused it. So if somebody's getting the same noise, and by the way, I will be putting in a video of what it sounded like in a few seconds here. So stay tuned. I'm gonna put the video of what the car sounded like before I swapped it out, and just give you an idea if this is going on in your car. This could be the cause. You know, this engine was probably not taken care of very well. It seems like there's a lot of black carbon deposits, much more than my other engine. Like, for example, just look at this. Like, usually the oil was probably not changed very often on this engine, and it probably has a lot of miles. But it was bought as a replacement for another engine that had a blown head gasket, and it didn't obviously it had problems. So I went back to the scrap yard. They gave me a Yaris engine because they didn't have any more Prius engines, and that's how that one ended up in the car. But so this one they let me keep. So we're gonna find out what's going on. So show you the video of what it sounded like, and we're gonna get it cranking and take all this stuff off and see what's going on inside. Okay, we're just coming up to a stop now. So as I'm accelerating, you guys should hear it through the very obvious ticking going on there, and I'm guessing it's from the valves, but you can see I have a check engine light there. That's actually related to an oxygen sensor. I've already read the codes, and this car's catalytic converter has been bypassed, which is still something I might fix later on. For now, it's just a straight pipe, so that's what's causing that O2 sensor to be latching that code. Here we're going uphill. Let's listen to it again. Very quick acceleration there, just to show how bad it is. It's actually not that bad, but you know, there you go. We'll be back in the garage. All right, here we are back again with this all removed. So to get this off, first thing I had to do was remove the timing chain cover. Then I had to remove the oil filter, and the oil filter like threaded adapter. Right under that adapter that goes into, there's just an Allen key that's on that, by the way. To take that off, there's a bolt hiding right under there. So if you don't know that, could be looking for a while. And then took all the bolts holding that piece that's over here now together. And we have found the problem. My suspicions were correct that it was something in the base. So first sign of this is, I don't know, I'm gonna try to focus here, sorry guys. If I go in here, if I bring you in, let's see if I can zoom. Let's just leave it there for a second here. Hold on. What's basically going on is this cylinder, there's way more marks in it, like at the lower end of the cylinder. So basically where the skirt, here, I'll bring you right back. All right, so now you can see a little better. If you look in that cylinder, you can see a lot of more score marks than the other ones. I guess I could show you another one that's okay. Like the last one here. You can see it's not as bad. And what's happening is I'm getting major piston slap here on this worn out one. Let's see if I can move this while holding this whole thing without knocking my light over. I don't know if you, let's get you closer here. You can hear, I can, when I look closely, oh, there you go. Now you see it. You see that piston on the lower side of it? See that movement? That's piston slap. So that's what was causing the noise on this engine. I guess an easy way to go and spot that would be just to throw a camera down the cylinder. And if you notice, like a lot of straight lines like that, I mean, maybe this piston got starved of oil because the rings are clogged, like the oil passages might be clogged, you know, and it might have starved itself with oil and then just wore the side skirt off over time, and it just started slapping around, and that's the noise I was hearing, which is something I've heard of on the forums. People talk about it, piston slap on these engines. I mean, this thing, I don't know how long it would have lasted more, but after buying an engine from the junkyard, I didn't pay much for it, like 500 bucks. But still, you know, you buy an engine, you expect to get a good low miles, or at least good working engine with no noise at the minimum. And that was not the case. So of course it was a piss off, because it's a big job to put that into the car and then take it all out again. And even in the process, I tried to fix it because I just didn't want to do the job again. I just, you know, tried to get it going good again, but did not succeed. And but now the car is running wonderful with the next one, so I'm happy I did it in the end. Great little gas saver, and I daily drive it to go to work and back, and she just rolling on the highway at 50 miles per gallon most of the time. You know, just gonna get better as the summer gets warmer and warmer. It's just gonna get better, you know. But even in dead winter at like minus 20 C, which is crazy cold for these cars, it still does like 40 miles per gallon. So happy I did fix this car, and hopefully you guys got something out of this. Obviously, if you'd want to fix this, it'd be a big deal. You'd have to get the piston replaced and the cylinder bored out, and obviously not worth it when you get, like, these engines are a dime a dozen, and they're actually pretty reliable. So there's many of them, and all junkyards have them basically. Every single one I've checked, almost all of them had a Prius engine of some sort, you know, in stock. So you're better off just swapping it out most of the time, you know, or putting a Yaris engine like I did. You can even get a newer one, as I think you can go up to like 2014 for the second gen Prius with a Yaris engine. So it even makes it, you know, where you can find even lower mile engine and newer ones, you know. So hopefully you learned something. It's just kind of like one of those things where I thought I'd show, but like, subscribe, and tell me what you think. Comments are appreciated and looked at, and I try to respond whenever you ask a question. And we'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.